Alrighty guys, so we haven't messed with the charger a lot recently, and she's sitting under a tarp because of the snow and it's raining a lot lately. We just got a ceiling put up in the garage and some insulation, so we can work in here in the winter now finally. So we're gonna go ahead and clean all this nonsense up. You can't really see it on camera. I suppose we made a little bit of a mess insulating my side. Wow. This is nice. This is nice. That's not a charger. Okay, so our problem with our alignment is clearly we have a lot of camber. Driver's side isn't too terrible looking right now, but when you drive around they look both pretty equal. The passenger looks real bad right now. The only way I can think to counteract this is to extend our spindles, which will change our control arm angles. And I can't show you this because I can barely get in there myself. So I'm gonna do it and figure out what it is, and then I will come back to you and I will show you when the car's on the lift how to do it. So I really don't know if this is the right way to extend a spindle, but took a little piece of angle and an angle finder, and when it's on the ground is when you want to measure this, if this is the right way to do it. I got like 4.5 degrees on the top control arm and like 1 degree on the bottom control arm. So in theory we want to make those match each other, and with a factory vehicle they would match, but we have 1,500 more pounds in the front, so it's smashing the springs down a lot more, making everything contract a lot more. Alright, I'm gonna stop myself there. So, the plan was to extend those spindles and get our camber to face out and our toe to face out. I believe that's toe this way. But our plan was to change that and extend them spindles down and counteract that. When I started looking at cutting that cast spindle, extending it would be pretty hard, making it look good and work good. We can make it work good, but making it look good, it constantly changes width and thickness, so it's and it bends too, it's like curled. So it's a very odd shape. I think it'd be really hard to do it nicely. So I decided we're just gonna scrap that idea and scrap the shocks and the spacers we made, and I'm just gonna buy air struts, put them on and see what that does. So that's what we did here. And I filmed something explaining this. However, the GoPro died at the end of me explaining it. I thought it died at the end of me explaining it. It didn't. It died at the beginning. So I lost that, and I didn't have any of the footage putting it on because the camera was dead. I didn't have batteries. So I just wanted to film that so it wasn't so confusing. We ended up putting Airlift struts on the car. So we'll see how it works here. We got some missing pieces that we need for the charger, and I hope they work, simply for the fact that I have no way to leave the shop because I was left vehicle-less. My vehicle is at the other shop, and well, I kind of got a ride over here and forgot about it. So I really hope these work. We got our holes drilled up here. Well, actually, I didn't even tell you what we did. So I didn't even explain what we're doing here. I drilled holes there's like a little nipple here. It was perfect. And I drilled the very top of it out on both sides. That's gonna fit our airlines. I took off our spacers that we made and our struts, and I just went ahead and bought the Airlift struts. They were a little bit shorter than these, probably about 1.5 inches. I was told I can extend those, and nobody could give me any info on it. It took probably 2 weeks to get an answer out of Airlift, of a legit answer on it. So now that I have that answer, everything's kind of been waiting on them. It's already on. So I figured everything's done. We might as well put air in it and see how it rides, and if we need that extra inch or two, because 1 inch or 2 out of that, if that's what we can get on the actual strut itself, is more than 1 inch or 2 on the car. It's probably like, I think it comes out to double, because that's what we did when we made that spacer. Whatever your spacer is, it doubles the height on the car. So we got nice Airlift struts under here. So we'll see what they do. And they give you this braided line that you're supposed to run somewhere. My idea was run it right up behind the upper control arm, zip tie it to the bottom of the bag, and then in theory it shouldn't have to travel at all, and that should be perfect for it. So let's get these on, and my theory with these two is that should mount it there, and it should be damn close. So let's give it a try and we'll see. I made a vital mistake. So our threads for our air struts are NPT thread, which makes sense. Our threads on the little Schrader valve adapters I got are flare threads. So in theory they're the same kind of thread, but flare is designed to obviously flare into another thread. I didn't realize they were flared fittings. So I have to get either something like this that's NPT, which doesn't exist because these are all I could find, or I have to get an NPT to 90 flare, which would work. It would sit like this. It would just look stupid because I was really hoping for that clean look. This would have sat down flat on there, lower, and it would have looked a lot better. Now it's going to be a 90. And I don't know. It is what it is. I can put a nipple off there, but then it sits real high. It looks even dumber. And I don't have a vehicle, so I got to figure out how I'm getting to the store to get these parts. So this video was supposed to be posted weeks ago. It's been like 3 weeks, so this is what's been happening. We're waiting for parts. I am sorry. I forgot about this beautiful beast, so I will be taking this, but it has no roof or back window, just a windshield, and it is very cold out, 25 degrees specifically. So this is going to be a not fun drive to the parts store. Luckily it's not far, and it has no parking brake. Those are my parking brakes, and this thing just got put together running, so I guess this will be a test ride too. This is terrible. I don't even know if you can hear me, but this thing is definitely clean. There is everything blowing everywhere into my face, and it is freezing. But we got our parts, so I'm happy. I did lie earlier. You can get these in a regular NPT thread, but it's a male instead of a female. So I guess now I can stick this union under here on the bottom and use it that way. So let's see. So according to our book, suggested is 70 psi and our maximum is 125. I'm assuming we're gonna need 125 for this. However, I talked to a gentleman that used these same struts on a Camaro he Cummins swapped, and he runs them at 90 psi, which is quite a ways below the maximum. So we're gonna set, I can do 125 psi with this compressor. I think it's actually low. I think it'll go up to 150. But if I can get in here, I'm going to turn our air pressure down to, let's say, 80 to start, and we'll see if this even holds air pressure, because that system is kind of rigged. But we'll see. This is the moment of truth. Our wheels, the alignment is a little off right now, being of how messed up the suspension was, but our wheels are pretty damn straight right now, vertically and horizontally. So this is the ultimate test. I also put 100 pounds. I also put 100 psi of air into them. I was gonna do 70-80, but I figured if a regular car takes 70, that this thing's easily gonna take 80 to 90. So I just put it a little heavy to start. So let's see, because we can always go 25 more and we can always go less. But I think we're gonna need at least 100, so we just started off heavy. Honestly, that looks a lot better from here. Oh wow, that one looks really good. And that one looks almost perfect. We're gonna take it for a test drive. The tires look entirely better than they were. And worst comes to worst, I think we can step those shocks up a little bit. I'm actually gonna test that right now and see. Well, this will officially be the farthest drive the Charger has ever done, which is a milestone, I believe. We're gonna see if it can make it over to the office, which is a couple miles. First, we gotta start. Wow. That was pretty impressive. It's cold. No grid heater, big turbos, a cam, fuel's turned way up. It actually doesn't like running on idle. It likes another 200 RPM. So maybe I'll adjust that so it idles a little higher. I don't know. But let's see what it does here. So the biggest drivability issue this thing had, other than the ground clearance, was the steering. I'm working on finding a power steering setup, but the issue was the steering really wanted to fight you, which it still does. But with the power steering, it shouldn't want to do that as much. But with the wheels facing cambered in and fighting each other going, I believe they were going out. They really fought each other going down the road. In the driveway, it feels a little better, but it still seems like it wants to fight me. So we'll see how it is going down the road. I'm excited because it seems like it's doing better. Seems good once we get up to speed, so might be something going on there. We'll see. So it steers really well. It steers a lot better than it does, except the wheel being way out of whack. But I'm really disappointed with the speed. We only have about an 85 mile/hour top speed in fourth gear, so I believe that's because the gearing in the rear end. But I believe if I get a lower, or I guess it'd be a higher ratio, I'm wondering how that's gonna be. It puts the power down really well, it just spins the tires. So maybe bigger tires, maybe we can lift the back end a little bit, get some height, and then put some bigger tires under it. We'll have to see. It still is fighting itself a little bit. It needs to be aligned now that we got a good suspension. But if you have any ideas of how we can get this thing faster, get a higher speed out of it, top speed, let me know. So now that we have the steering good, Connor thinks it's a good idea to blow the tires off.
I don't think you can do it.
I think I can get the tires on the wheels. I think I can get the wheels on the ground.
I think you're scared. Let's try it. We'll see.
think you're gonna need the rollback.
I think we're gonna need the rollback as well.
Well, guys, the charger didn't get to play. She just broke. I don't even know what happened. Our wheels are back to normal. Cambered in and turned. Blew that tire out. And this one's really bad. But our tires are back to turning in, and the camber's way off again. And we still have air in the bags, so I'm gonna get it back to the garage and see what we can come up with. It was short-lived with a running and driving charger. The tires, I tried to do, but the front end, I'm really not sure what's going on there again. With the tires in this kind of shape, I didn't expect them to last long. Honestly, I'm surprised they lasted as long as they did just driving over here. Let's see what we can figure out with this. Our spacing is not good at all. We have about an inch. So maybe the bags blew out. Maybe we bent the struts. But we had like 2 to 3. Now we don't even have an inch. So I want to try to figure it out. But for today's video, that's all we have. I thought we were gonna have more fun with this. Hopefully next time you see it, we'll have nice new headlights so the front end won't look so foggy. And hopefully we'll actually be driving like we're supposed to. So we will see. But as always, guys, thanks for watching and have a great day.